More now on the news that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex will move back to Britain later this month, with their children due to start school here in a few weeks' time. Well, I'm joined now by Josh Rom, who's Deputy Editor at the Royal Observer. Good morning to you, Josh. Thanks for joining us here on Sky News. This bit of news seems to have taken a lot of people by surprise. But do you think this has been in the planning for some time?
Yes, I do think this has been in the planning for some time. I think the fact that the children have already been enrolled in schools would suggest that they've been planning this, that they've been getting their ducks in a row, so to speak. What I've been told as well by sources is the fact that Prince Harry, those, of course, highly publicised security battles, one of the reasons that he's fought so ferociously for security. Now, that doesn't sound like the behaviour of a man who doesn't want to spend time in the UK. And we've had other kind of signs pointing towards this as well. Prince Harry's essays for the New Statesman show that he still cares deeply about the United Kingdom. So the fact is, and also as well, of course, I was on Sky News over the weekend doing the paper review. And of course, we had that story in the Sunday Times by journalist Roy Anika, which reported that Prince Harry wants to come back to the UK more frequently. He wants to see his wider family more often. He wants to have more face-to-face meetings with his patronages and his charities. And most importantly, the word that I found very interesting is he wanted to establish more of a foothold into the UK. Now, I think that was a kind of tester story to see how the public reacted to it, how the reaction was before they announced this move. But I think the thing that is taking everyone by surprise is the absolute speed that it's happening, the fact that it's been reported to be happening only within the next couple of days. That is, I think, the most striking part of this.
You talk about the security element a little earlier just then, but what changes have been made regarding security to make them feel safe on their return?
Well, that's the thing. No actual security changes have basically been publicly announced. What we do know is that he's not going to be a working member of the royal family. He's not returning back to royal duties. I've been told by sources that the model going forward is that they're still going to be embarking on commercial activities in order to fund their charitable endeavours, similar to what we saw on the recent quasi-royal tour, what some people called it, to Australia. That's going to be their model going forward. But what I would say is, of course, we do know that Prince Harry, Meghan Markle and their two children, Archie and Lilibet, did spend time in the country last month. They stayed at the Althorpe Estates, the childhood home of his late mother, Princess Diana. And of course, we know a few details, but not much, about that highly publicised tea with the King and Queen over in Highgrove. So although their bespoke security arrangement remains in place, they don't have automatic close protection security as working members of the royal family would have. What we did see last month is they did come into the country, especially Meghan and her two children. They were able to come safely in and out of the country in a private way, in a way in which they weren't really seen. And Prince Harry was able to still do his charitable endeavours.
I've got to ask you, Josh, it's a question on everybody's lips, I suppose. What is the primary reason for this sudden relocation after 6 years in exile?
Well, I think there's been a number of reasons. Of course, I think it can be stated that their Hollywood adventures haven't exactly gone to plan. The Netflix deal downgraded to a first look. The Spotify deal terminated. Meghan's With Love Meghan lifestyle series on Netflix cancelled after just 2 seasons. They haven't necessarily been able to establish maybe the foothold in America that they might have wanted. But what I can tell you, and what I've been told by sources, is that Harry does miss the UK. He misses elements of his life in the UK. We know that. What we also know is that he's keen to see his wider family. Back after he lost his last appeal for security, he, of course, in 2025 had another interview where he blasted it as that decision as an establishment stitch-up. But at the same time, he said he wanted a reconciliation with his family. He does want to re-establish reconciliation with his family on a personal level. What we also know is His Majesty the King, we don't know how much time he has left on the planet. He's very keen to also see more of his children, of his grandchildren, sorry, Archie and Lilibet. So having Harry in proximity in the same country, well, that would also make it easier.
OK, Josh, thanks very much indeed. Josh Rom joining us there on the potential, royal reconciliation, perhaps, later this month.